Yogyakarta, Indonesia. As a royal area, Yogyakarta adheres to various myths and legends of interest to know. In the middle of the hustle and bustle of the city of Yogyakarta that is increasingly touched by modernization, this apparently does not dispel the myths that are believed today. Myths themselves are considered sacred stories that deal with origins and explanations of natural phenomena and human institutions. When talking about Yogyakarta and its myths, we can't leave out the Kraton Yogyakarta, which is the successor of the Islamic Mataram Kingdom that was founded by Prince Mangkubumi in 1755 after the Giyanti agreement. After the agreement, there was a development of the urban village around Kraton Yogyakarta. This area, called as Jeron Beteng, is located inside the fort, used as a place to live for abdidalem, or servants of the palace, and the army. But then in 1969, at the discretion of Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono IX, indigenous people who did not own a house were allowed to build them in the former area of the fort. The wisdom is derived on the basis of concerns about the entry of non-indigenous residents who have the potential to further damage the remaining walls of the fortress. Jeron Beteng is commonly used to call the area on the inside of the fort that surrounds the Kraton Yogyakarta, which has become the main cultural heritage site in the city of Yogyakarta. This area has a distinctive spatial pattern and historic buildings that have survived the last century. In addition to Kraton Yogyakarta, which is very famous, there is an interesting myth of the Jeron Beteng area. People believe that one should not build multi-story buildings in Jeron Beteng. If they break this rule, something bad will happen.
Tapi setelah membuat meninggal.
Oh, meninggal karena
Ya,
warga biasa itu Pak bangun rumah tingkat.
Iya.
Meninggal.
Soalnya kalau melebih dengan Kraton itu biasanya itu ya tahu sendiri ada akibatnya sendiri. Di sini.
According to Mr. Sri Margana, a lecturer in History Department of Universitas Gadjah Mada, buildings around Kraton Yogyakarta located in Jeron Beteng cannot be higher than Siti Hinggil.
Di Siti Hinggil itu karena itu bangunan yang dianggap paling penting dalam keraton, paling bukan keramat ya, tapi posisinya paling tinggi karena di situ difungsikan sebagai tempat pengobatan raja, dan bangunan-bangunan yang bisa kalau melebihi dari Siti Hinggil itu artinya menandingi kekuasaan raja, jadi tidak boleh, jadi harus lebih rendah.
There are also regulations written in Peraturan Daerah Kota Yogyakarta Nomor 24 Tahun 2009 and Peraturan Wali Kota Yogyakarta Nomor 88 Tahun 2009 that stated people must not build buildings higher than 12 meters. If one wishes to do so, then it must first be approved by the Kraton of Yogyakarta. However, there is an exception for buildings that are built as public facilities.
Ya, itu mungkin karena pengecualian. Sebetulnya 12 meter itu kalau di alun-alun selatan itu kan posisi tanahnya lebih rendah sebetulnya. Jadi walaupun dia 12 meter dari tanah, mungkin kalau dibuat garis lurus itu dia masih lebih rendah dari setinggi. Karena posisi tanah di daerah itu lebih rendah dari yang ada di atas. Lagi pula mungkin itu karena sekolah itu kan bukan tempat pribadi, tempat yang dibangun untuk pendidikan, mungkin nggak akan terlalu kecuali itu rumah yang dibangun untuk rumah kediaman pribadi. Nah, itu kalau macam mungkin kualat.
This myth has now turned into a tradition and is proven to be a more effective warning than a written rule, because most people believe more in the stories that are spread by the word of mouth, whose consequences scare them if they do not follow said tradition. If viewed from the side of the culture, this myth is actually one way to preserve the Kraton Yogyakarta as one of the main cultural heritage in Indonesia. The purpose of not building something higher than Kraton is so that the charm and authenticity of the Kraton Yogyakarta is not lost. The tourists and the local people themselves can still see the Kraton Yogyakarta as a magnificent building that has a high historical value, on which the development of the city of Yogyakarta started.